Hi, welcome back to, or should I say, welcome to Interesting People. I'm the host, Logan Schmidt, and this is our first podcast. The whole point of this is I think there are a lot of interesting people out there. I think they have something to say, and I want to be able to give them the platform for this. I've been playing around with this formula for a good couple weeks now, but this is the first podcast I'm really going to put out there. The guest I have today is Jacob Fiore. I go a little bit into how I know him at the beginning, but we gloss over it pretty quickly. I actually knew the kid. Well, I didn't know him. I heard about him all of my high school career. I would just hear little things about him. Don't fuck with Jacob Fiore. Don't fuck with Jacob Fiore. He was known as like the little shithead of my area. I grew up 10 feet away from him. Little did I know. I met him a couple times, and I didn't like the homie, just straight up. But in the past year, I came across him again, and he was a different man. He was a completely different person. This guy went from being the little shithead that would rob you every time you turned your back to somebody who all he talks about is positivity and getting out of that pit that we all find ourselves falling. He's somebody that I really respect now. I really hope good things from him, and I wanted to let him sit down and just talk on a long form way, get his story across, get how he got to where he is, how he became the person he is. For the first 20 minutes, 15 minutes, there's a video to go along with it. My GoPro actually shut off afterwards, so it's just audio after that point, but he has a lot of interesting things to say. His story is crazy, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening to my spiel, and let's get into this.
Someone's basement.
This is
Interesting People.
So I guess let's start with how I met you. I don't even know if you remember, but yeah. So when I first entered high school and started smoking weed, and learned of the people who smoked weed, I always heard about Jacob Fiore. I always heard, we were just like little shit. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I would always hear Jacob Fiore. Little did I know he lived fucking 10 feet away from me. But then I actually met you in outpatient my sophomore year. Sophomore year. Yeah. And I thought you were a fuckhead, bro. I fucking hated you.
Yeah.
Because I remember coming in being like, bro, I'm clean. I'm the motherfucker. This is it. I'm a different man after this. And I see you and I'm like, man, fuck this kid.
Yeah.
And then I probably didn't see you until this year. Mm-hmm. And then you completely different person. Completely different wave. Absolutely just not the same fuckhead that I always heard about.
Yes.
So yeah, and you talk big on how big change. Trying to be successful. What was the initial thing for you? What was the spark that...
I can't really say the initial spark that I had. I just kind of had an epiphany. I was just really fed up with dealing with a lot of my parental things going on in my house. So I was mentally ready to make the switch. I guess there was no you would say this this situation happened that just kind of pushed me towards being successful. I just was just really done with living the life I was living. Mm-hmm. As simple as that. I was really just ready to go on my own. I was ready to do what it had to do to make it happen. And I've just been doing it since. I'm not wasn't financially ready at all, but I had that mental
ready to start it, ready to move.
Yeah,
so what did you do?
What
was it? Was it getting a job, getting an apartment?
Well, it started off with one of my buddies that used to live here at my parents' house. Lived here for a little bit. Decent dude, pretty cool dude. Mm-hmm. And then he moved out and got his own apartment, and he was like, "Hey man, you always have a place to come," because he was there with me through a lot of my parents blowouts and all that stuff. So he's like, "Man, if you ever want a place to stay, if you want something to do, you can always come out here." And I was just like, you know what? It took a couple weeks, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make that switch. But if I make the switch, I want to make the switch right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I I pretty much gave myself like, I'm gonna give myself 30 days, like a 30-day kind of.
Give yourself a time limit.
Yeah, to make that switch, and then I was ready. I was ready. I knew it was gonna be hard because I wasn't moving into like my own place, or like I said, wasn't financially ready. But I just did it, and I think it was probably the best thing for me.
Yeah, how did you feel right after that? When you after those 30 days?
Well, the crazy thing is though, I once I brought to my mom's attention, I was like, hey, like I'm planning on moving out. She was like, okay, cool. Like she was cool with it, and then up until the moment when I actually started moving out, and she just flipped out and was like, fuck you, like you're just gonna leave us, like. Got all like talking about like because I did like the painting, and she's like, these are all our tools, like, and I was just like, yo, what?
Yeah,
like this is actually how I was like,
you.
Yeah, completely like a whole different person.
What'd she expect you to do? Like live there forever?
Well, and that's the thing. I was just like, my dad was like, yeah, cool, whatever. He's like, yeah, fun.
Yeah.
He's super cool with it. And it was just like a complete switch. So that's when I was like, you know what? I'm like, fuck this, dude. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't want to. Like at that moment, I was like, dude, I'm not coming back. Like,
really?
Yeah, I was fully ready. I was like, I'm never going back to my parents' house. No matter how my situation gets tough. When I need money, when I'm down bad, like I'm
gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move on.
I'm gonna do it on my own, and I've been doing it since. And like I said, it's probably the best thing I've ever done in my life.
How many months ago was that?
Probably like 4 months ago. Probably
Really?
4.5
All right,
months
so
ago.
still early in on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You've been
very.
gone ever since?
Yep. Yeah. I never. I'll come. Like obviously, I'll visit my mom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're at your mom's house right now.
Yeah. So I'll visit her. We have like a relationship, but like I said, I love you, but I love you from a distance because when we get into the, like I'm around her often, and she's just got it's my mom, so it's like she says certain things and it makes you want to like go back to what's comfortable because here was comfortable. I gotta do what I want, smoke pot, sell drugs, like cool, whatever, and then comfortable wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it got serious.
You wanted to live in that dirt.
Yeah, so it was
feeling.
So I was like, you know what? I don't care how uncomfortable
Fucking cops, dude.
Yeah, literally. How uncomfortable it gets, and I'm just gonna do it. And like the last 2 months have really shown that because like I've had a lot of uncomfortable situations with like my stepbrother passing away and living in his house still after he passes because I was like I don't have thousands of dollars to go get my own stuff. So I was like, I had to live in that uncomfortable state, and that drove me harder to get to where I want to be, know, and that's now why I don't have to live in his house. And I live, in O'Fallon, a nice neighborhood, nice.
You moved out of there?
Yeah, I moved out and got nice guy stuff. Still every day, still, you gotta wait, I don't have the option to like not go to work. I don't have the option to like, today I'm gonna
there's no way you can go back.
I'm gonna blow a couple $100 this weekend. It's like it's work, and then after work, it's what can I do to increase my success? What can I do every day to grow stronger and better than the next person in my life?
Right.
So that's just pretty much the journey it's been on since I made that switch.
Some real shit. Yeah, I bet you feel like you can't go back now. There was a before and now there's an after.
So do you think you can make it in life, period, forever now?
What is success to you now? What is...
Success to me now is, right now, it's pretty much... Well, I got two kinds of success. I got like a personal success and then like a financial success. My financial success is just be the best I can, learn as much as I can in the trade. And what I mean with that is like I work for this painting company right now, so being the best person I can in that painting company and knocking the next motherfucker down that I have to be the best, to just keep going until the next opportunity arises.
Right.
And that's the bricklaying and doing stuff like that. My personal success is my mental state of being.
Mm-hmm.
And that means like everything to me, because before I struggled with like self-worth, really knowing who I was as a person. I never knew who I was. I thought I was a gangbanger. I thought I hung around all these degenerates, and I was like, I'm slinging drugs, no one can tell me shit. Like,
Right.
So I struggled with who I really was as a person. And so now my personal success is more aimed towards being just the best person, positive, helping somebody out, helping my community as much as I can, telling my story to people to hope maybe if that can change their heart, that person
Put that spark, that initial...
gets that fire going, then get that fire goes on the next person, and it just reaches out there,
Which do you think is harder, the financial success or the personal growth?
Oh, I mean, I'd say probably personal growth, because anybody can, not say anybody, but most people can have a job and work and make good money. But not a lot of people can have
the right mindset for it.
Yes, like not a lot of people can, like, that person that has a job that makes money, they could be broken down inside. I mean, they could be just defeated and be ready to just crumble at any second. But that person that really doesn't make the best money, but is mentally stronger, will outweigh that person who doesn't make money.
Willing for that growth, willing to go in that dirt to move on from it.
They're willing to get their hands dirty and do what they have to do to get to where they want to be. And that's simple as that.
I'm lucky kind of sketched because that cop ain't pull out yet.
Yeah, they just sit at the bottom.
They do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, isn't there a cop across the street from you? I was just
like literally headed in my mouth, and I'm like, fuck.
It's illegal. Shit.
I just ain't
technically I got my med card.
Yeah.
Technically it's all my weed. We're in Fiore's home. It's safe.
We're definitely
I'm safe at least. That's all that matters to me.
I know my way home. I can run.
Yeah. No, you hop in those woods, they'll never find you, bro. Follow the creek. Go to the Merrimack, start your new life.
Go to the Merrimack. Go to Sherman and live.
So what were your conditions like when you were younger?
Were
you living out here for your whole life?
No. I was born in North County.
Where at?
Like St. Charles and the Rock Road, Interboat.
Oh, St. Charles Rock Road?
Yeah.
Interboat?
Yeah.
That's right where I live.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was born. I only lived out there until I think I was like 4. I don't really remember. Well, shit, but
yeah.
We went to Baldwin, right by like New Baldwin Park, and pretty much been out in West County since. And like I said, I grew up. I had a mom and dad. My mom, always bought good food. Lived in a nice house, but it was like as I got older, I started seeing all the actual like imperfections, and it was like, yeah, we live in a nice house, but we can't afford to live in a nice house.
Yeah.
We can't afford to
start seeing
have
the
you
facade
do sports.
start falling down.
Yeah. We can't afford to have you do
Things,
things unless you work for it. And that's when it all just kind of started. It was just like, and looking back now, it means everyone has this like outside image, like, oh, well, he's from West County, so he's just a privileged shit. You know?
Yeah.
Then you meet the motherfucker, and you're like, damn, like, all right, like, because I have that view sometimes when I come out here, I'm like, fucking West County, you got the kids driving BMWs and, Audis and shit, living in, multi-million-dollar homes, and, you kind of get that sense of, like, judgment, because you're like, damn, like, you don't have it how I had it, you know? So my upbringing was, like, decent to an extent. My parents always argued all the time. They never had a stable relationship. My mom would leave and then come back, and
were you well aware of that as a kid?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they made it very known. My friends would come over, they'd be yelling. Like, my dad could say one thing. My dad wasn't, like, an educated dude. Like, he was a workhorse. He was a working man. He worked to provide, and that was it. Because that was just all my mom kind of just wanted, All my dad was really known for was just working, providing for the family, providing for everybody here. The house and all that stuff.
Did you notice that as a kid? That was your dad's job?
My dad
Just
worked
make sure
every
you
day.
provide.
Every
Really?
all day would ingrain that shit into you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't have a good work ethic, you'll never make it in life. If if you don't have a good work ethic, you better be sticking to the books because you ain't gonna make it in life. Like, just shit like that, you know. And I saw it, and I was like, at first, it was just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that
Yeah.
guy. So I'm gonna try and make money other ways, and so I was good at selling shit. You know, I always was good at selling shit. I sold like candy and shit when I was in middle school. Like
That's funny.
snack. We'd steal snacks from like Schnucks and Nurembergs, fucking bag loads, and just go to school. And it was just weird because like people would be like, oh, you think I get a bag of chips? I'm like, you got $1?
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, and then just kind of sparked it, dude. And that's what drove my ambition to be better than my mom and my dad was financially.
Just finding a way.
Was just, was
figuring
just
it out.
seeing that shit. You know, growing up hearing it, seeing it, and then never wanting to live it.
When did you move out here?
When I moved into Ellisville, I think I was 11. Yeah.
So you went to school.
I went to Werther, and then I went to Ellisville Elementary, and I went from there to
Crestview?
Yep.
Did you ever go to Westridge?
yeah.
Actually?
I went to Westridge, Werther, and Ellisville.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Westridge is literally I'm right next to that bridge.
Yeah.
Like right on that street. What was it like? Because you grew in shittier conditions. Growing up out here, seeing the motherfuckers where you're surrounded by people who were just given everything.
Yeah.
How did you feel? Like,
I mean, I felt like shit all the time because I never grew up with nothing. So, like, you see the person that buys these brand new pair of shoes, and you're like, damn, hey, Mom, can I get a new pair of shoes? And she's like,
no.
Cool. She's like, what do you want? And I'm
Yeah.
like, these are like, oh, hell no. Like,
yeah, we're going to Ross's.
Yeah, like, no, Jacob, I'm like, Mom, I'm like, what? Like, why? Am I that bad of a kid? I'm like, it's just all that shit. So I'm like, damn, dude. So now I got, like, hateful because I was like, man, like, you're doing all this other stuff for my sisters and stuff, but you can't buy any fucking pair of shoes. So I kind of got entitled a little bit.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard not to when you're around entitled kids.
Yeah,
like the motherfuckers who they come with new shoes and they tell everyone, "Look at my new shoes."
Yeah,
these $160.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is some shit.
That's where like trapping and selling starts from. I want
Get there as
pair of
quickly as
shoes.
possible.
I want the new pair of shoes. I want what they got. I want that new car. And it's like, I can make it selling. Why not?
I know how to do this.
Yeah.
And go flip real quick.
No,
And sell it to all these little shitty kids trapping about their money. And now I know they got money.
Yep.
Was there anything that any mantra that your dad told you that just stuck with you? That just like...
Work ethic.
Really? Just work.
And being just a good like father when I do have kids, and being just like there's not many things that he's like said that suck, but just more visual stuff.
How he acted.
Working how you carry yourself as an individual. There's one thing he did say is a good name is better than gold and silver.
Interesting.
So like having a good name,
Yeah.
when people are like, I want to be like this person, I want to do what this guy does. That's way better than having any amount of gold
Yeah.
or
You
silver.
hear the name Jacob and you're like, fuck, man,
Yeah.
I know that kid's going. I know he's grinding.
Yeah, like and
Interesting.
most of the time, my whole life. I mean, and still now, there's people that still probably blast my name and shit. It was like, Jacob Fuhr, and they're like, holy shit. I know Jacob Fuhr.
Yeah,
The kid
let me
that
tell
told
you
me
this shit.
Yeah, like always bad stuff. So my name had no meaning. I had all the money, man. I had a lot of money. I went. I mean, he also knows like oh shit, but I had
You're gonna be incarcerated.
Yeah, I had money.
About to play this back in court.
I went out, eat all the time. I just blew money 24/7. Like it was stupid though, because I look back, I'm like, man, I blew money, but like. I didn't have a car. Like I didn't have like everyone's like I was bossing up. I thought I was a boss, but like I was just spending money, dude. Like buying crazy amounts of drugs that I just never really do that much, but I just could buy it, so fuck it. Like I did, and shit, dude. That's what it just all started.
How the drugs affect you?
Oh fuck, dude. I mean, my mental health went completely to shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought, I remember being 17, by the time I turned 18, I never thought I'd make my 18th birthday. I thought I would die
Really?
on the day before
You were
my
just
18th
living
birthday.
every day like you were gonna
I
die.
was literally, I was,
Shit.
I went from a very solid kid. I used to work
Mhm.
out all the time. I made varsity track. Like, I made all
Really?
these varsity
I didn't know
sports.
that.
Yeah, I made
Uh-huh.
all these varsity sports. I never actually went through with them because my mom never had money. But I made all these things. I went from a solid kid, dude. I was slim. I was, I could run a 4-minute mile, dude.
Mhm.
Like, I was on top of my shit.
Mm.
Smoked pot a couple times. And my mom just like found out and was like, "You're a drug addict, like you're a fucking
Just
loser."
pushed you down.
Yeah, and she's like called the cops. The cops were like, "Well, we recommend going to preferred." And that moment, I mean,
So you were right in outpatient the second you started.
pretty much, yeah.
See,
you went
that
for weed?
that fucks you up. 'Cause
Yeah.
that makes
Oh,
you a
I was-
shithead kid.
Oh,
You're surrounded
yeah.
by kids smoking meth. That's who you think you are.
Yes, like literally, I was around people, and I was like, "Man, I'm not like these kids." And then I slowly was like, "Man, am I like these kids? Like,
Yeah.
am I this kid?" Like,
uh-huh.
and it just, and then I, like all those distractions, all those people around, it's just like, man, I gravitated towards
Yeah,
that because I'm
exactly.
with
You
them
click
fucking
with
3
them.
days a
Yeah.
week, 4 days a
Right.
week. For 3 hours, you're like, shit, you're gonna grow a relationship, and then you
Mhm.
get to hanging out outside of rehab.
That's the worst.
Oh, when
When
drugs
rehab
show
meets
up
you
on a
people.
drug test, what drugs
Mhm.
don't, how long it stays in your system. So you're like, man, I got the cheat codes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh.
flogging.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, like, I just went worse and worse. I got out of rehab that time. I didn't do anything while I was in rehab that time. It was like 6 months. I got
Shit.
out, and I was like, man, I ain't never going back. But boom, right when I got out, I was
Mhm.
like good for a little bit, and then it was just like step by step by
Mhm.
step. Like, I started stealing like a lot, like just bullshitting, hanging around stupid people, like
Mhm.
people that just wanted to steal shit. And then it was like, all right, now like it kind of just transitioned into like meeting. I actually like had met up with a couple old friends in Baldwin and stuff, and they were like heavy pot smokers.
Mhm.
So I was like, man, I made that switch. I went from like I was holding on to this decent
Yeah,
group of
you-
friends
the
that were
ladder
actually
list.
decent, and then I switched right into like, all right, now I'm smoking, skating around Baldwin, I'm a skate rat, fucking pothead, and that's what I thought that's who I thought I was. I gravitated towards skating because it was a thing that like not many people did. It was kind of like the outcast group, you know,
Yeah.
like. And I gravitated straight in towards that and just went more and more and more. And I went through like this like emo phase, I guess you could call it, where I was just like, I was just like, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck how I looked. I didn't give a fuck how I treated people. Like, I really just didn't care. I simply did not care about anything.
How old were you at that time?
I was a freshman in high school.
Shit.
Yeah, so
Right.
So at that point, is that when you noticed like drugs were affecting your life, or is
no,
You
I-
didn't even notice. That's
no,
a good question.
I thought it was just normal. Like, I thought it was a phase. I kept saying it was just a phase. People, I told everybody it was just a phase.
I'll
everybody
just grow
switches.
out of this.
Everybody
Yeah.
Went back to rehab. I went to inpatient.
Uh-huh.
I went to inpatient. Was there for like 50 days until I was just like, my dad was like, man, this guy's not learning shit. Like, these people are fucked up. Like, pull me out. Once I got out, met up with I got a job at McDonald's, dude. I was like so excited. Like, man, I got a job at McDonald's, man. I'm like 15 years old. I'm like, this shit's cool. And then I was like, I met a kid there. And I was like, oh shit, like, what's up, dude? He's like, oh hey. He's like, you're out of rehab and shit. I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I got linked up with this dude, man. I'm buying acid and shit. I'm like, acid. I was like, I know a little about acid. Like, I learned about it. I never done it.
They taught me that in rehab.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, and then I started hanging around him because like there was an older crowd. It was a crowd. People were like, man, these are like
Right,
it was like
cool
Wildwood
kids.
kids, but they
Yeah.
were like, these motherfuckers are low key about shit. Like like not like hood motherfuckers, but like they were running good. They had a lot of drugs, a lot of money and shit, and so like I kind of went to that group, and then it just each time I transitioned into different groups or in and out of rehab, it got worse and worse and worse until it just got to the point where I was just doing fucking blow every night. I was smoking meth, like I was smoking crack. I mean the amounts where people are like, yo, like you're like, I'm surprised you're alive because I would stay up for so long until my body would literally just shut down. Like I'd be walking and just like boom, like you're just out, like you're done because your body is so amped up. it can't go on no more. And then at that moment, I was like, okay, like.
Now, how long into you're 15 working at McDonald's too?
So it was it was on and off
Stumbling.
until I was like 17 years old. I would do a drug, and I would do that drug, a lot of it, for a short amount of time. So I would go hard. Like the acid, I'd go hard. Like I do strips a day.
Yeah.
Over summer, and then I stopped doing that. Cocaine every day, all day. Sell it. I'm like, man, fuck behind the show, just sell it, and I can get it and do it all as much as I want.
Yeah, endless supply.
Boom, did that for a short amount of time. And then it was then it just transitioned into like, okay, now like my buddy was like, hey, like you ever tried ice before? And I was like, fuck no.
Yeah.
I was like, that shit? I was like, that shit makes you like fucking. He's like, no, dude, no, like, bro, it's not what you think it is. He's
Really?
like, we don't have to. I was like, well, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck no. I said no for like, for like a week. I was like, nah, bro, no. And then it was fucked up. It was my ex's birthday, and my buddy was like, dudes hit me up, and I'm like, well, I'm not buying shit. I'm not doing a shit. I was like, no, we don't have to buy like a lot. Just buy a couple of points, like teens and shit. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I was just like, you know what, fuck it, dude. Because it was like that seed that got implanted in my brain. Was just like, man, it's not that bad, dude.
It's
look at
replaying
me,
in your
man.
head every single time.
It's like, look at me, like, I'm fine, right? I'm like, from the outside, I was like, yeah, cool, fine. Shower and shit. Like,
You don't look like a meth head.
Yeah, you don't look like a tweaker. And then that's when it just was like, that moment, I was like, oh shit. And that's the thing, it wasn't like how people said it was. It wasn't like you were like, oh my god, scratching, itching, kicking off like, first hit or day or whatever. Until like, you try to sit down. Or you try to like right now, if you're all gacked up, man, I'd be like, dude, nah, man, like, this last week, like, and you're doing all these movies, you're like, yo, this guy's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
At work, they do it a lot.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I noticed in the
I
construction.
didn't notice that.
Coke and
oh
meth.
yeah. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Just to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
them up,
Just
keep
to
them moving?
Going, dude.
And they will
Interesting.
fucking move. Dude.
Yeah.
Everywhere. They will
And-
get the
Sure.
basement cleaned in a fucking 5 minutes. Dude.
Yeah, like it was mentally draining for sure. I lost all sense and hope of everything. Like,
Really?
I literally was like, well, I already did meth. Fuck, let's do fentanyl. I've already done all this shit. Like, I've never done fentanyl, but it was that mindset of like, I'm done.
Yeah, I've
like,
hit the
this
worst.
This is
Like,
the
this-
end of the road. Like, this is it. I never thought I'd make it to my 21st birthday. I never thought I'd make it to my 18th birthday. Like, I literally was like, this is the end of the road. This is where my life stops.
Have you made it to your 21st birthday?
No. It was it, dude. It was it. It was so fucked up. It was so dark. Everything was dark. And then I just stopped. I just cold turkeyed.
Really?
Yep. One day I woke up and I was like, this is not the life I want.
How many times did you wake up, though, feeling like that and didn't do anything?
None.
Oh,
How
really?
How old
No.
were you when that? At that point in time, you woke up
16.
16.
Yep. I was 16.
Oh,
Dude, you were
15 working at McDonald's, 16
Smoking
smoking.
meth. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like.
I mean, it's just crazy because
It's
the
such a
time
short-
span of that, yeah, it's just
you
quick
went
with it.
from like, most people were like 25 or 30 when
Uh-huh.
they're like, yo, I'm 30, I'm smoking meth. You're like, oh, fuck that. Yeah, I started very young. And there's not one moment. Every time I'd say, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
So you would notice it. You'd be like, I shouldn't be
Yes,
doing this
I'm
shit.
like, this is bad. I always we would be smoking, and I'm like, man, this is bad. The guy like, no, aren't you like lit? And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is just bad. Dude. We're smoking crystal meth. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, isn't this fucked up? And they're like, nah, man, like what? And I'm like tripping. I'm like, no, like I know.
No, I gotta be in the right here. About
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I
about
gotta
fucking
be the
meth.
same, sane one.
And I woke up and I was like, fuck this shit. I was like, fuck this shit.
So what'd you do? Cut everybody off?
Kind of. Me and my buddy were just kind of like, we're done. We still kind of hung around. A couple of our like buddies that would do it. It was like mostly just this one kid. It was a very small group. It wasn't like I was like hanging around like a shitload of people that smoked meth. It was a very like small group. It was just me, his three buddies, and then like this our plug. And I cut the plug off, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
Makes
we hang
sense.
out with my buddy, and like, as we're hanging around him, and as I'm getting clean, and I hang around him, like it got like to the point where I was like, why am I hanging out with you? You're just weird. Like,
Yeah, you
'cause
made him while you were smoking meth.
Yeah, so
Like-
when I was talking about it, I'm like, now I see why people don't like us. Like, yeah, and I was just like, fuck, dude, fuck that, fuck this dude. And I made a complete switch where I cut like everybody off, and
Really?
I just went full on like in my zone. I knew once I cut it off though, I told my mom, I was like, hey, like I smoke meth, like I need to go to rehab, like this is like bad. And she's like, oh my god, like okay, cool. And then like the night before, dude, I was just all in my head, like I was crying. I was like, dude, this is fuck. Am I ready? Like this is crazy. Like I don't want to go. I didn't want to leave some people. I was dating this girl at the time, and she was with me with like the whole thing, dude. Like I know I call her when I was in rehab on passes, and you know, just with me through the whole thing. And when I got out, I while I was in rehab, I realized like rehab actually wasn't for me at that time. Even though I was doing shit that would qualify to go to rehab,
Yeah.
it wasn't for me at that time. Like I was ready to make the switch, and rehab wasn't helping. I've learned everything
Really?
I needed for the last like 3 years of going to rehab.
Yeah.
There wasn't much.
There's
they could
nothing
tell
more
me.
they could give
No,
you.
there was really
That
nothing.
makes
It had to
sense.
be all on me at that point. And so I was there for a week. I got kicked out. I fought this kid, and I just got kicked out. And everyone was like, "You're not gonna make it." You know, my parents were like, "You're fucked up. You're not gonna make it." And then I got out, and I fucking made it. Like I literally was just like, "Fuck this," and I made it. You know.
So 16 is when you called it?
Yep.
16.
Yep.
Interesting.
What was your first car then?
When I was like 16, but I only had it for like a month. If even that. Like, my mom ended up selling it because I started selling pot. So she was like, "Yeah, fuck that."
Yeah, you got like a habit now of buying and flipping cars.
I did. I that was also like part of like not knowing who I wanted to be.
Okay.
I'd buy, you know, I bought my I bought this BMW from selling pot. Bought the BMW, and I was like, the moment I bought the BMW, all the drugs stopped. Because I was like, this was gonna be my mental marker, my trophy, my thing to get out. Like
I stopped doing all the shit, and this is what I have
this
for
is
it.
what I have from this is what I have to show from doing all that
Right,
shit.
I get that, a token of it.
Yes, and then I started getting serious. I got in this painting company, and then it was just like I was like, man, I can't use this car to paint in. It was really nice. Like, it was a nice fucking car.
Yeah, you want to fuck this up.
Yeah,
you
I
could have
was
put
like,
your
I know
tools in
100%
there.
this will get fucked up. And so I was like, well, I need a truck. I want to buy a picture. And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna buy a diesel pickup truck. So I
Yeah.
saw 'em. So I was like, I looked on Facebook, and I was like, man, I wonder what diesel pickups are going for. And I looked, and I was like, oh, this guy's selling a diesel pickup for $6,000. I was like, shit. So I sold this car. I sold the car for like $4,000. Had like $1,100 in my bank account, and then I got a loan from my sister for like $1,000. And I went and bought the diesel pickup truck. And I thought I was hot shit. I was like, dude, this thing sounds nice. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Fat, big. You know, you gotta let it warm up for like a fucking hour in the morning. And I thought it was cool, dude. I was like, this is awesome. I'm badass. Like, I'm fucking pimping. And then I was like, and I realized how much it was to maintain it. And I was like, I'm fucking not pimping.
I'm actually
homeless.
losing
Yeah.
on it.
Yes. And then I was like, okay, well, I got it. I'll just sell it. You know? So I was like, okay. I didn't sell it, but I traded it. Can't remember what I bought. Oh, I traded it for this GMC Sierra on a 11-inch lift with 37-inch tires. And I
That's
thought
powerful.
that was pimping. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm fucking pimping. Axle broke. So my rear end just completely shot out. Well, now I'm back to broke. My parents luckily helped me out and financed me money to get it fixed. Worked it off, paid it back. And then I was like, okay, well, obviously this is not practical. Number one, you gotta have a fucking step ladder to climb up in the shit. So then there's just gonna be like more problems after. So I was like, well, I'll just sell it. So I would post that back on Facebook. And then I traded that for an 87 Dodge D150. Had a performance cam in it. Was like, it was chugging. Like I thought that, and I was like, nah, I'm really badass. 'Cause
Yeah, now this is it.
Yeah,
This
now I was
is
like, this is it. Like,
fucked
I'm
up
gonna
the last
keep-
couple times.
Yes.
Got it this time.
Yes, got it this time. I'm gonna keep this truck. I'm gonna keep it climbing. I'm gonna put it in the garage in the winter time and da da da. And then I was like, I can't do that because it's my only fucking car. So
Mm-hmm.
like, how am I going to work? You know? So I was like, I have to use it for work. And then I was like, well, this isn't practical. So I went to sell that. Then I just folded. I sold it for like piss poor money. Like
Yeah.
I took that money and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to selling drugs. I was like, fuck it, dude. Like at this point, I'm like, I have, you know, pennies on the dollar. I need a vehicle, but what's the quickest way I know to get a vehicle? And I was like, I'll take all this money, buy a shitload of pot,
Yeah, flip it.
and sell it.
Right.
That didn't work out one bit.
Really?
No. I lost. Well, number one, I cut off all my sales. I cut off all my plugs.
Yeah.
I knew one guy, and so I was like, so now I'm back to really square one. To like now I gotta find new sales. I gotta get hold of these people. I gotta get them back hip on me.
You'd be like, yo,
to
I
make
changed
them-
my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
selling again.
Yes, and that just went like bad, dude. Like I just
Really?
lost all my money. Like,
Really?
I-
So it didn't even work out for you?
No, not one
Shit.
bit. I made a little money, but I blew it all. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I had walked around and I had a fucking bankroll, but then I was just like, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. I'll make it back some of this pot. And then I was like, never made it back. And then I just kept losing until I had nothing. I had no car, no money. Man, I didn't even have a job. And then I just went back and I was like, you know what? I when that mental switch was like, I can't do it again. Like fuck this, da da da.
Hit another low.
Yup, and then climb myself back out. So I always do these things where it's like I'll do good for a little bit, and then I'll switch back to making steps backwards.
So
Right,
what
I
you
mean-
think- what are you gonna do to like not go back down that path? You know.
Yeah, now you've done it enough. What are your steps to get you out of that? You're well aware that you go back.
Oh, I mean, honestly, it's just constantly reminding myself who I was back then and who I am now. That's the biggest thing. I look back, I
Where
saw
you could
numbers
be.
on my phone while I was looking. I'm like, dude, I just look at it, I'm like, man, I was fucked up. No one liked me. No one wanted to be around me. And then it was just like that's my reassurance now. Where I don't. And the thing is, like, not that I don't want to. I don't need to. I don't need to go back to that shit. There's no reason why I should go back to that. You know, now that's my motivation really, and to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big that's the biggest
internal
thing.
thing.
Yup.
Fuck you, I can do this. No,
You,
no, no.
you gotta keep your mind busy because if you just work 8 hours, go home, just sit there.
No,
Then
you
it's
won't
like,
make shit out.
Mm.
yeah, you're just gonna sit there and just.
No, you gotta work your
Start
ass
doing
off
work,
at
that
work
shit.
and then work your ass off at home.
Mhm.
You gotta keep doing it. You gotta be on that every single day.
All the time, dude. All the time. The moment you slip up, the one slip you make, you don't bounce back from it, it will ruin all the fucking all the
All the
time it
progress
took
you
to
just
get.
make.
Yup, it'll just set you back
Nothing.
12 times harder, dude.
Right. I mean, you keep that in the back of your head. It keeps
All
you
the
going.
time.
It keeps you
And
going.
that's why I listen to like those motivational, like videos and speeches and stuff in the morning because it's like I listen to this stuff and I'm like I'm applying. Anybody can listen to it, right? Anybody can listen to a motivational speech, but it's if you apply those principles into your life, what they're saying. If you don't apply them, it's not gonna fucking work. It's just another video you're listening. You might as well listen to music. But it's like I apply those things to my life every day. I don't want to be that asshole kid that I was. I want to touch someone's heart.
Right. You know what not to be now.
Yes.
You've hit that
Like,
low.
I was dark, dude. Like I said, I went from smoking meth to like now I want to change the world in a positive direction. I want to touch someone's heart. I want someone to look at me and be like, wow, if this guy can do it, there's no reason why I shouldn't, you know, at all. And that's just the vibe I'm on right now. That's the path I'm on. And like I said, my mindset I am in now than I was before is I am more dedicated than I ever have been in my whole entire life. Like I am set in stone on this path, and there's nothing so far that's broken
to you,
it.
it's already reality.
Yeah, and like I said, my father passed away, and you'd think that would set somebody back. You know, you'd think like, man, like this dude lost his dad. Like, you know, he's gonna be fucked. No. Like, that was not an excuse
Even
whatsoever. I had
That's
my
some
couple
real
days
shit,
off
bro.
work to, like, you know, kind of be with my
Process.
mom, my family, and then it was right back to work, right back to healing myself. There was no steps backwards because,
Some real shit, man.
yeah, like you can't.
You
do
feel
it.
that in anybody else. They're,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck them up for the next 6 months. Minimum.
Yeah.
You said so you wake up every morning, you listen to motivational speeches. Do you have like a morning routine you do every day? Like
Not
a consistent
really.
thing?
I just wake up, stretch,
Mm-hmm.
pop on some motivational shit, pack my lunch for work,
Mm-hmm.
brush my teeth, kind of head out.
But you do that every single day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Consistency of it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
wake
think-
up. I'm always to the job 30 minutes or an hour early.
Oh,
every
really?
day, no matter, even if I get drunk, then fuck. The night
Mhm.
before, I'm always up. When my alarm goes off, so like we start work at 8.
Yeah,
wake
what
at
time you wake
6.
up?
6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up right at 6 o'clock. Get my shit ready. 6:30 out the door.
Really?
To work. Sometimes usually I work, but it varies though. 'Cause sometimes I work 30 minutes away. Sometimes I work 15 minutes away from my house.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I work an hour away. So it all really just depends. But I'm always to the job 30 minutes early. Always.
Mhm.
Sometimes an hour. To give myself that's my me time. Some people have me time at their house in the morning where they sit and drink coffee. Mine's when I'm looking at the job in the morning and I get to sit there. I'm ready. I'm so ready. And then I get like, okay, I can sit back and I have everything ready. You know, I'll maybe talk to some people that are up, or I'll watch some more YouTube videos, or just whatever. And then right when that foreman gets there, I'm ready, dude.
Yep, you're in it.
I
That's
get
what you've
in,
been
I
waiting
go,
for.
do my shit, and then I get home and I try to look for ways when I get home to better my career, to better my success. Talk to
So
my
what
brother.
are those ways? What do you get home, what do you do?
I get home, I'll clean up, shower up, pretty much just shoot the shit with my brother. My brother owns like a union brick company. so-
Right, you were telling me about that.
and so I'll shoot the shits with him, asking him like certain pointers, or usually sometimes I have side work. So I'll either go to work and then work after work.
Mm-hmm.
I usually try to stay away from that on the weekdays because I get burnt out like very easily.
Yeah.
Like easily, but it does wear on you a lot. And if I'm not performing at my job, my 9 to 5, then it's just
Right,
all
that's where
just
it's
starts
important.
kind of crumbling down. But yeah, I mean, pretty much just always preaching like to myself and to other people, just success. I preach into the air because then it, kind of brings it into reality.
Mm-hmm.
I manifest it,
Yeah, you keep that in your mind every day. It's going to come to reality. You're going
Yes.
to inevitably live that truth.
Yes. So, I mean, it's been a fucking long journey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been a long motherfucking road.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long
I mean, how old are you now?
19.
Bro, you went through enough shit. Like you
Yeah.
were saying, people start smoking meth at 25, man. You did that at
Yeah.
60. You got it right out of the way.
Yeah,
You're ready
yeah,
to move
I was
on.
like, fuck it, cool.
Yeah, shit, you're gonna be in a house then. Everyone else is gonna be like
Smoking meth.
Geeking and doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. shit
Get
with
into
things.
right where you were at.
It
Yeah.
cracks me up because like I'll be drinking and I'm like, man, I don't even like drinking and I'm not even 21 yet and it's like I've never even been to a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna go to a bar.
Yeah, and you're ready
you
to
know,
move
like,
past it already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Already
literally.
like this shit.
That's my downfalls. I do like drinking. I don't
Mhm.
like getting drunk, but I do like
Past.
beer.
Yeah.
Like I like having a beer or two after work, and that's something that I can eventually gonna have to like work past.
Mhm. But it's not affecting you drastically
No.
now. It's not like...
No, it's not like how drugs are. Like where I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll fuck going to work today. I'll just sell some drugs.
yeah, I'll make money
Yeah.
another way.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's been a long road, and I'm, like I hope, as I become more and more successful and stuff, more and more people see it and like want to follow that path. Like I said to me, I'm really my purpose here in life is to touch someone's heart,
So
hopefully
that's fair.
heal someone's heart,
Mm-hmm.
and have that person do it to the next person,
Yeah.
and the next person, and the next
Be
person.
that spark for somebody going through the same
Yeah.
shit you were at.
Literally.
Be the inevitable.
Yeah. and
There's
30
no reason anybody should be left in the darkness
Mm-mm.
alone. There's no
Always be
reason.
shown
Yes.
what they could do.
Yes.
What is possible.
That's a terrible fucking place.
Well, that's some real respect, man. Bringing people up. Any more questions? Oh, you want to ask the
Sure. What was the lowest point in your life?
Smoking meth.
math?
Literally.
Yeah.
The
Like,
first
yeah.
time or like the last time?
I think probably more the first time.
Uh-huh. 'Cause
The
you were
last time was
real-
more like, all right, dude, fuck this shit. Like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, it can only go up from here,
Mhm.
you know. And yeah, I mean, the first time I smoked meth, I was like, okay, this is fucked. Like, this is it. Boom,
Mhm.
done.
So So you quit smoking weed recently? I mean, not recently, but you started back up. What made you be like, all right, weed? I could stick to weed. I could stick to alcohol, but I won't go down the coke way, the meth way, all that shit again.
Yeah, what gave you that belief that you can
Man,
do
it's just,
this?
It's so nasty. It's so dirty. It's so dark.
It's got the bad connotation with it.
Oh, dude, like, and there's what's crazy is after I stopped doing those drugs, I had like PTSD. I couldn't even sleep in my room.
Really?
Because I would shake. Like, I'd be like, I'd shake. There's certain people I would talk to on Snapchat, and I would shake. I'm like, because it was just this weird like trauma that I had from smoking so much fucking meth, that like it just triggered these like weird things. Not triggered into where I would like, I want to smoke meth, but it was just like. I'd just be like,
Relive
I feel uncomfortable. And it was like, yeah, like relive. I'd look around. It's like, it would just trigger these things.
Wow.
And it was just so bad.
So you just relived it over and over and over again.
Yeah,
That's
all
what
the
I did
time.
whenever I was on acid. Like, he was with me during the summer and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, I really didn't see it. I didn't really see a problem with it. But everybody else was like, dude, this is like your 8th tab this week. Like, you're fucked up. And it literally took me like 4 months of not doing any acid, no shrooms, nothing, to be like, oh my god, like I'm back in reality now. Like this is real life. Like I done fucked up so many relationships with people. I gotta get back on the right path again.
100%. Man, that shit's fucked up.
Drugs are fucking crazy, dude.
I mean, they take you down a wormhole.
Oh, it's.
Acid was the only. That's the hardest drug I've ever done.
But you did that consistently. You went through the shit with that one.
Yeah, and that was like I definitely was like, yeah, I'm addicted. Like I would sit there, I'd sit at parties and just fucking.
You weren't partying. You were just in your own world. You know,
Literally. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, now it's like I'll smoke weed and it's like, sometimes smoking weed, I always smoke weed and I'm like, it's weird, like, I picked it up more now because I'm starting to like wean myself off of like drinking so much because I want to like just get very serious. Like, I'm serious about my success, but now I want to push myself to see like more
farther and farther.
Yeah. So I'm like, I say weaning like I'm like an alcoholic, but it's just kind of like just gravitating away from it. When I smoke, it's like I usually don't really like. I don't smoke. I'm like, oh, I love being high. Like I'm so high. Like no, when I get really high, I get like really paranoid.
Yeah.
So I only take like 1 or 2 hits, and it's like, all right, cool. I'm like, and then I don't want to drink because like then I drink and I get all bubbly and bloated, and I'm high and I'm bloated, and I'm like, holy fuck, this sucks. So it kind of like weans me off that, and then weed's very easy to put down. I mean, you just like.
And you can still function on it at work. I mean,
yeah.
I smoke.
I can't. No, I can't.
Oh, really?
No.
See, I'm a pothead, and I used to smoke every day at work, and everybody smokes at work, and it's like hard because I don't smoke at work anymore because I'm trying to like actually focus. I'm trying to know what the fuck I'm doing because I'm trying to get to that.
See what your life can be like without it.
Yeah, exactly. And so now, like at work, I'd fucking show up to work fucking with a backwood in my fucking hands smoking, and I would not even remember the day. Like, what the fuck? What job did we do last week?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
Yes.
Send me on
we
that
need to
alone.
get this done. We need to get that done.
And then your dollars per hour just slowly rises, and you're getting more.
Yeah.
Then you can get that house. You can get that good ass car.
Yeah, you see something come out of it because now you're in the moment rather than just passing by it.
Yeah,
just living
you
through
remember in the moment, you know, and you're just like, holy shit.
It's the ones that like fuck up so many times that just fucking skyrocket.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, literally.
Because you know what the shit is.
Yeah.
You know what the low is. You know what not to do now.
Yeah, it's really easy to go from like up here to down here. It's really easy to have a lot and then just like piss away, but it's really hard to go from down here to up here. But it's really easy to stay up there because you know what life is like when you're at the fucking bottom.
You know how to.
You never want to go back to that shit. And that's the fire that I got. I never want to make steps backwards. I've burnt enough bridges in my life. Fucked over enough people where it's like, I don't want to do that ever again. There's no reason to. No one should ever do that shit. If I knew back then what I know now, I'd be a fucking millionaire. Like, I wouldn't be doing the shit I do.
You'd be 2 years ahead of where you are right now.
Literally. Like, holy shit.
Dude, so my dad, he when he was 19, he caught a murder charge and he killed somebody and like got 6 years for it. And so he was doing coke, everything. Like he would go to, after he got out of prison, he was doing way more coke. But you know, he was in prison and he was looking at people and he's like, he's getting the fucking death chair for killing somebody on accident. He's like, fuck, I'm facing murder at 19. Like, I'm fucked. So he got 6 years for that. He got out. He joined the union. And he fucked up. He started selling coke. He'd be at the bars buying shots for everybody because he's got so much fucking money.
Mr. Good Time.
He'd be, dude, he'd just be so fucked up off everything. And then as having a kid, it just instantly just fucking boosted him up. He's like, no more coke, no more alcohol, nothing, and he just now he's doing shitty again. But you know, for a while, like just that seeing where he came from all the way up back to the top, it's like damn, you bought $100,000 house and you're proud of it because of where you came from.
No, I saw the same thing. My dad was dirt poor because my grandpa was like a crazy guy, like a little pretty out there. So they grew up dirt poor. And my dad started from nothing, jack shit. Then at 21 he had me. And I mean, he grew up with a bunch of fuckheads. When I went into high school, I was like, oh, you're like Brendan. You're like my godfather. Like all these people. And my dad made a complete switch. He would tell me stories of going to like, he'd go to a fucking movie theater, they'd drink half a bottle of Tito's between them and start getting fights with the cops. And then second he had 21, he stopped all of it. Went on his life. There was no alcohol in my house ever. I remember being a kid digging through my parents' stuff just to find anything bad so I could be like, fucking feel like connected to be like, I'm a bad kid. Like, please tell me you're doing shit on the side so I don't feel bad. But then I saw like the progression of the people. Like, there's a video of him and his bachelor party. They used to have this YouTube channel. They had like a little gang. They were the Gym Ninjas. And there's a video of my dad on his bachelor party with all of his friends on my back deck screaming, my dad's doing a beer they got 2 kegs and he's fucking chug while his buddies are fucking just chugging. And I mean, my dad stopped all of that shit, and I saw all these kids that like they were his friends. He grew up with them and never see them anymore. They're all in the same place they were. They're all just drinking, just day drinking. And my dad's like, he's stable now. He's got his shit. Like, he's fit, like he's happy. And you see all these kids who were in the exact same position as him, but they didn't have that step. They didn't have that thing where it was like, I gotta be on my shit now. And they just never got on their shit. And you see what, like, if you don't have that thing inside of you telling you to keep going, then you don't keep going. You stagnate.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time.
Because when I sit there, like, in 40 years, if I'm sitting downstairs, you know, building something and my kids are upstairs, I'm just bored every fucking day doing random stupid shit. I don't want to be there and be like, oh, let me smoke some weed. And then just like all of a sudden, just slowly more weed, and then you're doing more shit, more
kids
shit.
See that shit and they're like, oh,
yeah,
my dad.
Exactly.
Next thing kids are like,
and then next thing you know, you're losing. Like, there was a guy, he was a union painter, and he had 3 kids the same age as me and my sisters, boy, girl, the same as my family, and we would all hang out. Everything was perfect. He had a big ass house in St. Charles. Fucking 7 to 3:30, and all of a sudden, him and his girl start getting into some problems, and some guy at work's got like some meth that he does, and the dude's like, "Fuck it, I'll try it." And really? So
at like 30 years old,
like 40 years old, and he drop it in like they were like fucking ice, like they drop it in their coffee and then fucking drink it or some shit like that.
Yeah, that shit fuck up.
Coffee don't sound great.
Hand in hand.
2 uppers.
Yeah.
And so and so all of a sudden everything's fine, like perfect. I didn't even think he smoked weed, and then all of a sudden within a year, he's divorced. His house is getting kicked in. His kids are living on 5th Street in an apartment with his wife, and he's in and out of jail. And then he eventually kills himself on meth because of how depressed he is and just how bad life is, because he's thinking it's all downhill from here, and he just killed himself. And his kids are my age and my sister's age, and now they don't have a dad because of a year of stupid decisions.
Just 1 year and the whole life goes down the drain.
1 year, and they had a house about this size perfectly. Good cars, everything.
He was set up. He just didn't know what to do next. He didn't know what the next step was. He had nothing.
And it's like, I don't want that. I don't want that to be me. You know, like, I don't want to have a midlife crisis.
No shit.
Yeah, you know what your my dad's midlife crisis was he bought a truck and like started fucking woodworking. This man's was
midlife crisis.
He's like, I'm so stressed.
Yeah, this man's was. I mean, that's the thing is it never goes away. That hole never goes away. You're gonna be looking at that fucking where you were at 16 for the rest of your life. You're gonna be running away from that forever. It's just getting good at it. It's just being able to do that over and over and over again. Yeah, because that's really what it is.
The game. And like I know, like, I went through a lot of shit young, but I know when I get older, there's gonna be more stuff that comes in the way.
If you want it to be different shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna have to
You
be
want
a
it-
dad for the rest of my life. But fuck. But like, you know, like as like starting your own business and stuff, you're gonna go through stress with workers, and you're gonna be stressed
Right,
out.
but you want that stress.
Dealing
Yeah.
with
That's
how to
that's
cope
not
with it.
healthy, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a good stress to
Yeah,
deal with.
yeah. Like, I'd rather have no work, or I'd rather have a lot of work,
Too much.
not enough people, than have no work and a lot of people and shit.
Uh-huh.
But and also like being able to deal with it when it comes up, you know, being able to deal with that stress, being able to deal with like how do I deal with it and not revert to like old behaviors and stuff, even if it's not drugs. It might just be like aggression, like I get out of my character whenever a lot of stress gets set on because I'm just so stressed out that I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna fucking go drink and then fight somebody. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just get out of your character and shit. So just being able to deal with it is definitely a
Right.
good thing.
The better you get at doing that,
Yeah.
the better.
Life would just be.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why anybody should not be successful.
Mhm.
Everything, the world gives you everything you need.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's,
No,
you
it's
can learn everything
the
you want on
best
fucking
time to be
YouTube.
alive.
Like,
Yeah,
literally. There's everything on. Like you could look
Yeah.
up how to fucking fuck a tree, and there's gonna be a video on YouTube that's some guy showing you how to fuck a tree.
And you're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah,
I got a
yeah,
tree outside.
like,
I got a dick.
Yeah, I got a tree.
All I need.
Yeah.
It cracks me up because I'm at work, like I work with this guy and he drives and I'm in the passenger seat waiting for the next job, and we'll see a homeless person and he's got Jack in the Box applications to just give him. Go
Really?
get a job.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're on the corner,
Mm-hmm.
your feet look fine,
Mm-hmm.
why not get a job?
Take the step.
And he's got a point, you know. Why are you on that corner? You know, what is holding you back? You know, he got a job at 15. I know Mexicans that have nothing. They come from their country, and they literally have no passport, no
Mhm.
paperwork.
They're
and-
technically not here.
Yeah, and yet they're still somehow have an apartment, have cars,
Right.
have.
There's a
kids.
way around it.
Yes.
As long as you try.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you have fire underneath your ass, you will move.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my dad told me.
That's all you need.
Literally.
No, that's all my dad told me too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's the only thing in life.
Yeah, for real. Like, just a work ethic. And
Mhm.
that is what my
Keep
dad
going.
taught me from
Just keep
the very
moving.
start.
when your hands hurt, when your body hurts, your mind hurts, you keep
Doing
going.
good.
Yeah.
That much stronger the next day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was like 6 years old, and that was the first job I ever did with my dad. And we fucking did like a front on my house for brick. And I was out there, and he was like, "You want to do this shit for a living?" I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it fucking seems fun, you know? Like, fuck school. Like, I gotta sit in the classroom all day. But like, I'm looking at it now, and he's like, he had a point, you know? Like, do you want to do this for the rest of your life and have your body hurting? Like, he's had surgeries and shit, and
Affects
that's
you.
the road that he's going down, you know.
Mhm.
But he's making good money. He will make
Mhm.
good money.
Yeah,
But-
but you're 19 doing this right now.
Yeah.
There are steps to get a little
You
bit
don't
out of
have
that.
to break your body.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And like, just it's like he had the mindset of go to school, go to work. Those are the only two options.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like that, but it's not. You know, like
Yeah. You can't look at it as if you're not in this, if you're not going down this path, then you're fucked. Then you're jack shit. No. You
And
gotta
it
keep
seemed
moving.
like it honestly seems like construction is one of the best ways for.
It's a big stepping point. There are a
for
lot of
us
shit that you
type
get
of
out
people,
of it.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause,
No,
like, I
when
know
I was
he
in
didn't
Port-
do good in school. I didn't do
Yeah.
good in school, and it's like construction. They gave me a chance to
That's
make
free
something.
learning.
Right.
Yeah.
I learned a trade where like I can do a shit on the side, dude, and make fucking decent money.
And you can go anywhere and paint anything.
Yes,
Everyone
and I will
needs
never.
something.
Yeah,
And
you
that's the
have
thing is, I'll
real
never
skills.
lose it. I'll
Exactly.
never lose it. I'll
Mhm.
never. No, as you get older, you get more tired. You don't want to do as do labor intensive stuff. But I won't ever lose it. My bad. But and when I go
I have
like
to
the
bleep that one.
yeah, when I go to like join Brickland stuff, and as I learn Brickland, now I have painting and bricklaying. Then in between that, like maybe learn some carpentry stuff. Then I have bricklaying, carpentry, painting,
Mm-hmm.
and then just keep adding on, adding on,
It's a
adding
real
on.
tangible
It's free
skills.
learning. People pay
Yeah.
like good money to do that
Yeah.
shit. I'm
Mhm.
doing it for fucking free, and I'm
Yeah.
getting paid.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
not
like,
doing it for free. You're
shit,
gaining.
Why should I not be successful? Why?
Right.
I'm learning something that people legit pay for.
Yeah.
And I'm not
Because
successful.
they
There's
don't
no
know how to do
excuse.
it. They don't know
Yeah.
how to
Like,
do it. Like a Boeing, like somebody, millionaires. You know, I don't like the way my kitchen looks today.
Mhm.
I want a new kitchen.
Yeah, let's go pay this guy.
Yeah.
Let's go pay Jacob Fiore
Yeah.
to do this.
Yeah.
literally. Like,
And all of a sudden you're making $50K off of some rich ass millionaire
Mhm.
and building a business off of that.
Literally. Like, oh god. Dude.
I started with bricklaying. I went to landscaping, then I went to carpentry, or I went to pools, and then carpentry, then now back to pools. So I'm going along them lines of, you know, figuring out what the fuck I like,
Mhm.
and so far pools is the one I like the most.
Yeah.
Bricklaying is the one I've kept the most because like that's what my heart is at and that's what I
Yeah.
know the best. But it's also fucking hard as fuck.
Mhm.
Fucking motherfuckers are crazy.
Yeah. Eating that
Crazy.
shit for breakfast.
They take so much pride on the way shit looks.
Really.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I mean, it's such like a minute detail type of job.
Mhm.
Like,
My dad built
Brooks
the
don't lie.
Ameristar and shit, and he'd be up on the scaffolding. He'd be like, yeah, man, I'd fucking, you look down fucking 500 fucking feet down. You take the wrong step because you're fucking retarded that day, and you're done. You know,
Yeah,
you're fucking
literally.
gone. It's like, man, dude, like, that's
Fucking
fucking
ain't no
insane.
safety harness.
just don't fall.
Free fall.
Fuck OSHA.
Yeah, no shit.
OSHA, you know what that is?
Fuck ocean.
No, you know what OSHA is? It's a, it's, so like, the shit that we do, they have regulations on
Yeah. Okay. So
like
it's
safety glasses, hard hats, and shit like
Gotcha.
that. So the higher up you go, like on Ameristar and shit like that, the more OSHA is on your ass. Like if you
Right,
have a
right,
nail
right.
sticking out of the board and
Mhm.
it's up, they charge $10,000 for a nail.
Shit.
Yeah, and your
Make sure
company
that
is gonna be
nail's
like,
sticking.
"Fuck you, get the fuck off my job."
Yeah. You just cost me
Yeah.
10K.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a shower.
and you're screwed. You know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
literally
Doing
what
it
you
for free
made.
now. Fuck.
No, I think something about construction is like that's the day to day. You're working through it. Like you get 4 hours in and you want to stop. You don't. You can't.
Or else
So
you're
you're
fired.
doing the mental thing, but you're doing it physically.
Pushing and
Yeah.
pushing and pushing.
You're constantly pushing every day.
And I think it could definitely, because a lot of people have like negative thoughts. I feel like about the trade because they're like, oh, these guys are just, you know,
Yeah.
it breaks your back.
Yeah.
They're dumb. Like they don't go to
Mhm.
school, so now they're
Yeah,
doing
they're
this.
criminals.
Yeah,
fucking
drug addicts. Yeah, all that shit. But I think honestly, for kids that come from broken homes and don't have any definition of self-worth or motivation, that it
creates
could be a
that.
very good thing.
Mhm.
Because it's not like when you get in, you just stay in it for long. You could figure out like when you get in, there's so many aspects. There's like a business aspect. You could,
Mhm.
you know, say you're smart. You're like, oh, I know this, but I know that they could do this differently to improve their
Mhm.
business. And it's like boom, right there. That's an open door. It's an opportunity to get
It's
into.
a stepping stone.
Yeah, and so you don't have to do the labor-intensive work. Get into like the business aspect of it, or how people run their companies and shit. You know.
No, these last couple of years, like meaning like Cody, like you, like everybody in construction, like I have so much fucking respect for him because I realize it's a real fucking job.
Yeah.
Like it's some real shit, and
Yeah.
like being good at it is like a real skill, and you come out of it. I mean, you can go build a house, you can go paint an entire house. You have, I mean, who knows what you do in the next 30 years,
Mhm.
but like you could go work a fucking office job, but now you're home and you're like, I'm about to go paint this entire house. I'm about to redo all that. What's up, officer?
Number fucking 3. What the fuck?
Yeah. They just patrol that. I guess the streets hot out here in Ellisville.
Yeah,
So much crime. Holy fuck.
No, me and dude, I went to go skate and Ryan was just riding an ATV around, and so he comes, he picks me up, and it was right down there, and we're riding on the back of his ATV, and he's telling me, he's like, yeah, man, we passed this fucking old guy, he started yelling at us, flipped him off, called him a fucker, funny shit, and he goes, oh look, that's him, and we ride up, we go, 10 seconds after, we see the guy, cop just walks out behind a tree. Oh, what you guys doing out here?
I was just chilling.
Yeah, oh, nothing, officer.
Yeah. That'd be funny. You see that motherfucker running his lawnmower and shit around town, man.
That's a crazy motherfucker.
I couldn't sit in a job. You know, like there's a guy that
Office job? No, I always say if I land in an office, I'd kill myself. Like
Yeah.
that was my big thing. Is like I can't do school. If you put me in an office job, I'll fucking kill myself. If I have to wake up every single day and do the exact same thing, do what somebody tells me every single day, if I'm not like enjoying this, I'm gonna kill myself. Just accept
what's the
it.
point in that? Is fucking very enjoyable.
It's just endless.
yeah.
Working, fucking
If
writing
you like
copy.
a job, you don't work a day in your life.
Mhm.
You know, just straight up.
Oh, you want to ask the final question, Cody?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we loaded up some questions for you.
Yeah, we did. We hit most of it.
Yeah.
For real, like
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah. When did you realize school wasn't for you and physical labor was? For me, it was fucking. I'd probably say like 6th grade, honestly.
Mhm.
6th grade for me, because it's like school was hard, never had it.
Mhm.
But like labor, like I'd go outside and all of a sudden everybody would be like, "Damn, you cut that grass hella good. You
Mhm.
did that hella good." It's like, well, shit, I can do that hella good. I can't do that hella good, and I can make money off of this.
Mhm.
Fuck, you know, like that's a win-win right there.
Yeah, I feel like for me it was end of freshman year because I worked with my dad on and off since I was young, like 8 years old. Is when I started like working on and off with him and shit. And I think freshman year is when I really was like struggling hard. I was always good in school. I always had good grades up until freshman year because that's when I started like smoking pot and shit. And that's when I was just like, yeah, cool. My dad was like, you know, if you want to call in sick to school today, you're gonna come to work. And I was like, all right. fuck it.
what my dad did.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll give you some money.
Yeah, you're not gonna do nothing.
Buy lunch and shit, but you know, you're gonna go to work. And then like it started being like he saw I was good at it, and he's like, you can make good money, and I'll pay. And we got into like, well, I'll pay you if you start, I'll pay you more, start helping me, and da da da. And yeah, so that's one of the freshman years, and I was like, you know what? I was really trying to stick with school. I was really trying to do it, man. I got so behind though from being in and out of rehab that I was so behind my credits that I was drowning. Like
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'm
Yeah, they don't make it
drowning.
easy for you either.
No, I'd try to do like this fucking Missouri options and do all that shit, but I was like I didn't see the end goal. I just was like, I'm.
'Cause you're in the pit.
Yeah, I was in a pit. I was in a hard pit, and I was like, you know what, fuck it.
So did you end up graduating?
No,
Really?
nope. Didn't graduate. Didn't walk. Nothing. I take classes now online.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I do that to get my GED. But yeah, I fully was like, yo, fuck this. I was like, I don't need high school. Like, fuck that. I work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then you get into the actual, like, say, union and shit, and you want to move up, and they're like, do you have a high school diploma? And you're like, oh.
And that's exactly what
no.
I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, and
That's
you're
exactly
like,
what it is.
fuck no. So, I'm very close.
Mhm.
I'm very close to actually to getting it. I do see the finish line.
Mhm.
But it was definitely it's been a hard road to do that because there's no one around me to motivate me. I just sit in my fucking room and watch these videos on my phone and take quizzes and shit and got this little tablet and just do that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I bet it's hard when you're 19.
Yeah.
I went after I dropped out. My dad was like, "All right, you got to do school. Like you go to work, and after work, you go to night classes." And so I would go to Pattonville at night, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, like 5:30 to 8:30, and then it was good for like the first month, and then all of a sudden we had to work longer. Then it's like, all right, well fuck, I can't go to school now because I'm working longer, and it's just like, all right, I'm trying to fucking work at fucking until 6 o'clock
Work
at night.
makes more sense than
fucking,
going to school.
Yeah, and then go to school at fucking 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and it's like just slowly backing out of it, and I dropped out. Went to night school, couldn't do them too, and I'm like, fuck. Now I'm to that point where I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna pay somebody to fucking do it for me. Cause like I'm like on number 3 now, and it's like, fuck, dude, like.
Gets draining,
Yeah.
but it boils down to that, like, how bad you want it, your mental, when shit sucks, you keep fucking going. So I'm kind of applying it to the school, because like I said, I was good at school up until freshman year, and now it's a lot harder, because you're like, damn, am I really that stupid? And then, but you get in that state of like, I can do it. If I've done all this other stuff, overcome all this other stuff in my life, I can fucking do this.
I can fucking finish high school.
You do things that you don't like, so you can know to do it later.
Yeah, and I mean, you do it one time, you never got to do it again.
Yeah, I got my computer, and I'm like, all right, now I'm trying to find a website that I can cheat on and get done with it, like no cap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a way. That's how I did online school, because I got 109 days OSS, and it was like, fuck, all right. It was like my junior year, and so I had last semester and a year left, and that's just all I did every single day. And like, dude, I was so bad at it too, because I hadn't done homework since 6th grade. So then it was like, well, shit. Now you're telling me all of school is homework?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so I would go through periods where I would just do jack shit for like a month and then be like, all right. And then I ended up, my last semester, I did the entire semester in like 3 weeks. So it was just like, I gotta do this. I gotta finish high school.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, and that's how I ended almost every semester. For junior year, that's what I did, is I just pushed it off, and it was like, I gotta do all of it, and I do all of it. And then the exact same thing, I finished my second semester of senior year, I went through with it. I did like every day to day, I finished all my quizzes, I did it all on time. Because senior year, first semester, it was my last day, and I was literally counting down. I had an hour left, and if I didn't finish these 5 assignments, then I wasn't gonna fucking graduate. So I went through. I finished every single goddamn assignment, and I remember sitting down there. I had 30 minutes left until the clock hit. I was in my backyard fucking smoking cigarettes. Getting it through.
Stressed out.
But it was a good feeling. All right.
Oh yeah.
It's just fucking high school,
Yeah,
man.
that's an accomplishment, and that's an accomplishment that I hope I fucking get one day.
Mhm.
Because I haven't felt that accomplishment. You know, like that's a
Yeah.
big milestone that I haven't hit.
Yeah, no, and I know I needed, because there's something weird when you're shitty in school. Finishing it feels like something.
Yeah,
that was the big thing I noticed. I was like, I just need to get this, so I can finally fucking be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Fully never have to think about school again, and move on and do the things I really want to do in life. Grow how I want to grow.
Yes.
Because it's some bullshit that our whole society is based off of
School.
a mandated degree. That, I mean, you go do your high school, you're just doing this high school degree so you can get more opportunities. Nothing of what you learned is actual, you're not using it in anything.
Mm-mm.
It's just so you can get this done.
No.
Yeah.
It'd be different if you came out and you're like, dope, now I can go do a trade.
General education.
No, it's
Means
bullshit.
nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to come out, how much math? You want to go do some algebra right now? How much do you remember?
The most math I do is alright, 7 foot plus my fucking 3
Yeah.
inches is it. You know, like that's it, dude. Like I'm
Reading a tape measure, that's enough math for me.
I got you got your 7/8, your fucking quarter inch. That's it.
Yeah, adding fractions. I mean, we learned that in elementary school, bro.
Yeah.
Could have stopped right there.
Literally.
No, the school system's a little whack.
Alright. If you have sex with a pregnant woman, is it a threesome?
That's our final question. How you feel about that?
Dude, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know, dude. I'd be like, this just kind of seems weird. Like, this is just like,
So if your girl
All right,
is
you got to
pregnant-
think about it. You're
Like,
35 years old. Your wife is pregnant, and man, she's horny.
You can't
Hormones
tap
are going through her, and you know there's a little Fiore right
I
inside
would
of her.
need some, like,
But man, she's bumping. Those titties are
liquor.
big.
Yeah, liquor and I need a lot of liquor. And, would that be a 3? I don't even know, because, like, dude, I wouldn't even know.
What constitutes a life, bro?
I probably wouldn't think of it at the time in a threesome, because I'd just be like, yeah, I'm just getting some ass.
You'd be like, call me daddy, call me daddy.
It's like, yeah, kid fuck comes out. It's like, daddy, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
But,
you don't want to fuck her too hard.
You're like, did I just pop your cherry?
Yeah.
No, you killed the
You
baby.
popped the kid, bro.
Yeah.
Take me to the hospital.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even know,
Oh
dude.
my
I wouldn't even think about it. I'd just be like, you know what, fuck it, get it over with.
We're gonna do it
You know,
tonight.
It's 2.5.
Too risky. Yeah, it's,
I mean, it's your last opportunity. Before that, the thing's never the same.
Yeah, that thing's gonna be a little
I still
looser.
fucking. Imagine my wife.
It will never feel the same,
Yeah,
bro.
it's-
Though.
It's just.
I mean, I heard it closes up pretty good. From not
Oh,
experience, not experience, but
shit.
from
Oh,
other
shit.
people's experiences.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, just moms are hot, man. Just fucking. I only go for moms, man.
I go for a bitch who taught her kid how to read. No, I'm so happy I never ended up with a kid. All I'm thinking is I just make it to 21 and I beat my dad. That's all I think every day.
I know. I'm
Just
like,
don't have
I'm
a
right
kid
at
at
that.
21.
I'm right at that point where my mom had me at 21, and I'm like, or 22 or something. I'm like so far so good.
Mhm.
You know, like.
Right. Shit. I know my 5-year goal is to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't want to do it when I'm not ready.
Yeah. For
Like-
If I'm not ready in 5 years, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
Nah, I want to be 30. Like, I
Right.
want to go through my career because I saw
Yeah.
my dad being like, I mean, every single day he would be like, man, I love y'all, but like,
fuck, you make this shit hard. He was like, there's so much stuff I could do if there wasn't you.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's like you got now you have this your overhead is another person. You got to have a house. You got to support this kid so he grows up.
So then your work ethic really goes up because you're
Yeah.
like, I need to make it.
No. I do grind it like a motherfucker.
You die, you know, like
Yeah,
you're responsible.
not
It's
just
not,
you
it's not
die.
like a dog where you can just like give them to the shelter.
Just pass it on to another homie.
Yeah, it's a fucking kid. Like,
Shit, I think you should take the kid to the woods, throw the ball out real far, and drive off like a dog. Live in the woods, be
Till the
free.
kid comes back, he's like, "Hey, Dad." Like,
Yeah, he
fucking
comes
has a
back
shotgun.
with
like
murder
10
on his
10 years
mind.
later.
Yeah, literally.
He was living with dogs. He's about to chew your ass up.
Yeah. Fuck me.
You be like, Jared, is that you? Who be like, yeah, I've lived in the woods for 13 years.
It's Bone now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck.
My trail name is Wood Boy.
Coyote fucker.
You don't want to know where that came from.
Dude, somebody was just telling me about that Audible shit, and there's a native book tells you about like the natives' perspective of like the Americans coming in and like killing everybody.
really?
And, like how their names came about. Like when they were kids, like they'd get like fucked up names because of like something they did. You know, like that's how you got your name. You know, like
You were
fucking-
branded.
Yeah, you got branded with that name from the start. You know.
No, that's what they call it's your trail name. Is like if you're a big hiker, if you're a big woodsman, they give you a name, and that's usually what these people go by. What was it when I was in Puerto Rico? There was a bitch there named Bear.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, she fully went with it. Like on her legal documents now, it's Bear. And like I
That's a
think,
cute little name.
yeah, she was a
Bear.
wild motherfucker. I didn't see
That
like
sounds
she
like
had
it.
just left before I got there, but we heard stories of her. Like you'd walk out, it'd rain, and she'd be like, "Fuck yeah!" She'd get bare naked and start climbing trees. And
Oh,
be
that's
like,
Bear.
"Damn."
Holy
yeah,
shit.
no, that's Bear, bro.
Was she a big bitch?
No, she was a skinny motherfucker.
I should climb trees out your neck and shit.
Yeah, you got to be fit for that one.
Yeah, no shit.
Nah,
Puerto Rico. that's
she
dope.
had,
Puerto Rico. They were working.
No, and then on their off days, she was fucking some dude on the farm. Her and that dude would go into the woods for hours on end. You'd hear them howling, fucking climbing trees. They come back and be like, "What'd you do?"
I don't know.
Lived in the woods, bro.
We made
Smoking
that
a shisha.
animal sacrifice right there.
No shit.
What the fuck? Bear.
No, and I've heard some good ones. I forget. Yeah.
Well,